Hi, it's Grace with Devotions from the Dock. Tonight I want to just spend part of the evening here, just a few minutes this evening, reading from Numbers 21. And I was encouraged with this passage this morning, encouraged to really watch my mouth, actually. It says in verse 3 that the Lord heard the Israelites' request and gave them victory over the Canaanites. So that's when they were approaching and they just needed to get to where they were going, right? And so the people of Israel said to the Lord, if you hand these people over to us, we will completely destroy all their towns. And so it says God heard their request and gave them victory over the Canaanites. So I thought that was interesting that God heard their requests. You see, because what happened just a couple of verses later, he heard something else. And it said that they started out on their long journey, and it said the people grew impatient with the long journey, and they began to speak against God and Moses. So this sure wasn't the first time that they did this. You think that they'd learn, right? But not. So it says that they said, why have you brought us out of Egypt to die here in the wilderness? They complained. There's nothing to eat here and nothing to drink, and we hate this horrible manna. So they whined and grumbled and complained, and God heard that too. So he ended up, this is just awful, where he sent the poisonous snakes among them, and a lot of people died from that. And the people realized, though, what they had done. They said, we've sinned by speaking against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take away the snakes. So Moses prayed for the people. And I've just been reading, just going through reading the Bible through in a year. This is actually the one that I'm using. This is, can you see that? 1 Year Bible. I just love it. It's got lots of space to write in the margins, so it's full of notes. But just watching through the scriptures where history repeats itself over and over again, where the people would see God do something incredible on their behalf, and 2 or 3 days later, they're down in the dumps and whining about how hard it is, and they've forgotten everything that God had just done in the past. But you know, he hears them when they cry out to him, right? And he hears Moses pray for the people too. And he comes up with that solution of having the pole and the snake that was made out of, what was it, bronze, yep. And the people just had to look to it, and then it would be saved. They would be saved. But so many lessons for us to learn there, right? Because we're not so different than those Israelites were. As we might see God answer prayer and do amazing things and provide for us because he's heard our prayers for help. And then a little ways down the road, things get tough again, and we start whining and complaining about how hard it is, but he hears those words too. And so let's just be careful what we say, right? I have to catch myself when I start saying something about how it's tough, or, oh, I'm tired, or, you know, that type of thing. I'm starting to just grab myself and say, just stop, and express gratitude instead. Gratitude for having health to be busy and, having shelter and warmth when so many people don't, and still having work, meaningful work, when so many people have lost their jobs. So there's so much that we can be thankful for, and let's let the words of our mouth be like songs of praise to God, because if we don't say it, the rocks are going to cry out, right? So let's let the words of our heart, the words of our mouth be filled with praise and gratitude and thanksgiving. Because if he's going to hear something out of our lips, let it be good. All right, then. Have a good evening, and know you are loved.